So, welcome back here to Career Hacking Village at DEF CON, where we're exploring what are our career paths, the challenges and opportunities that are holding us back from being our best selves. So, we're really excited to have Lady Nikon join us today to talk to us about sort of changing careers and transitioning and what those challenges are, because a lot of times we stick in our swim lane, we don't do anything that outside of our comfort zone, and we really should look outside of our comfort zone in order to grow and to find more successful careers. So we're going to have Danyelle Davis talk to us about achieving your ultimate achievement and have it unlocked. Danyelle?
Hello. First I want to say, never post something to Facebook that you don't want people to see and actually implement. Um, this is my first con back, technically, because it's virtual. And I said when they were making requests for DEF CON talks was, one day I'll do a talk. And suddenly I had about 6 people in my IM going, all right, so what do you want to talk on? My answer was between, I don't know, are you serious? Why me? So there was a lot of answers, and Travis messaged me and goes, all right, so I know exactly what you can do. And you've done it. So let's do a talk on something that is very personal to you, which is transitioning through job market. And I had a story there. Now and this goes directly into the theme of stepping out of your comfort zone, because I don't like attention. I like attention from the people I want to have attention from, but usually I prefer to be in the corner drinking diet birch beer, not real birch beer that you can't see. Uh, and because of that, I felt like that is one of the stories of many that you're going to hear in the next time period, which I did not hit start on my clock. Anyways, so this is called Achievement Unlocked. Now, I'm a gamer, so you're going to see references. I'm a nerd of all many hats, so you're going to see a lot of things that are typical, but it's very personal to me because these are the exact ways I felt when it all started. So, and the end of it, and every single time I got the offer letter, it was, holy crap, I'm here. So exactly what this says. My achievement was unlocked and I am here. So who am I? Obviously, that's people's question is, why are you up on the stage talking to me? And well, obviously my name is Danyelle Davis, but many people know me by Lady Nikon. I have been working in IT for almost 20 years, but I cut my teeth in IT before I can remember. I was teaching my teachers how to use the computers in school because they had no idea what to do. I am a con addict. I'm quite sure some of you might notice my face. Some of you don't. So I again. I game a lot. You will realize that later. I'm a crafter. I am actually in my craft room at the moment because, well, it's my Zen place. And I'm a mother of 3, a 11-year-old girl and twin boys who are currently 8 and driving me insane. So you may be wondering, what made me want to switch a career? And that goes into some other things. This is pretty much what I've done. I've done help desk from 1 to 3. I've been an IT liaison, and that basically meant that my boss did not want to go to the meetings herself. She realized that I was an IT person, and she decided, great, you can go up to the change management meetings, you can go to every single task, and then you can come back, write me a nice little summary, and then tell me what they said, and then you'll probably be the one to implement it. But hey, you like IT, right? One of the things that she said was, I'm so glad that you're in it for the experience and not the money, which made me go, what? I've done software testing. I've been a SOC analyst, looking through logs, chasing down to see what's going on, putting it in tickets and stuff. Vulnerability assessment. It's an obvious thing. Junior pen tester, penetration tester, and now I'm a database vulnerability assessment, which basically means that I check databases to make sure that they are not less hackable. Can't say not hackable because we all know that's about as good as a condom, 99.9% or less. That's why you never tell a person when they say, does this mean I'm no longer hackable? Yeah, no. Reality is maybe, maybe not. We're going to work on that. I'm going to say this before I continue. This is my disclaimer. These are my experiences. Your knowledge may vary. I was able to do these things and it has made me successful and a better person. But it always starts with deciding that you're going to do it. Whether it's because of money, you're just bored out of your gourd, because if you have to explain what an icon is one more time on that desktop, you're going to strangle somebody. And of course, if you're too young to understand the Matrix, and which I am very sorry for, and you should watch it, all three of them, there's a red pill and a blue pill. Do I decide to wake up from this potential nightmare that you might be in, or stay with it because it's comfortable? Typically in our world, a lot of us look at that multiple times in multiple career levels and go, I don't know. But then for me, I did not want to be that person who's been a 20-year veteran and a tier 3 help desk person. No. So you decide that you want to make this change, so you take the red pill. You want to wake up to that reality and you want to move forward in life. Again, for whatever reason it is. You go, what do I want to do? Can I do this? Well, yeah, because I have no choice in the matter. I need to move on. And that's exactly what was going through my head as a software tester, because I was a manual software tester in this quickly becoming an automated world. Can I do it? I'm gonna try, because as a friend has told me, well, the only thing that can happen is either it doesn't happen or it does. What's the worst that can happen? And I actually have her voice in my head constantly saying, what's the worst that can happen? All right, look, nerds, do not fly to the obvious handle of I could die. That's not the worst that could happen for some instances. But just to make sure you're clear, don't do it. Is this what I really want? Once you determine the choice that you want to make, do you want to stick with it? Now, the answer can be maybe, yeah, no, but I'm going to try it out. Because honestly, what do you want to be when you grow up? How many of you can really answer that question? To say, for beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know I want to be X. Yeah, that's what I thought. There is no turning back now. You have gotten your gumption, you are ready to go. And that's pretty much where I was. But of course, I was still stuck in that redhead, brunette stage where, do I want to go this way? Do I want to go this way? The blonde's over here kind of nice. Yeah, another Matrix reference, sorry. I can't help myself. It's one of my favorite movies. I had the chance of doing the pen testing. I had the chance of doing the vulnerability assessment, excuse me. And I had an option to do something completely different. I don't even remember what it was, because obviously that wasn't an option I wanted to entertain. I was a software tester and I decided that I'm going to take baby steps. Software testing and vulnerability assessment. Well, I'm already testing the software to determine if there's a bug in it. And then I report it to the developers and they fix it. Now, vulnerability assessment, if for those of you who might not know, is you're taking tools, manual and typically automated, doing your tests, you find out the vulnerabilities, and then you report them. Now, again, this is based off of my experience. Some of you may have different experiences on it. But a lot of times you're not popping the box. You're not making those vulnerabilities known by actually attacking them. You're I found a shiny. I'm going to write up this shiny, which is reporting. Now I've told about the shiny. Now this is how you fix said shiny based off of what maybe the vendors have said or some techniques that you might know. And then you roll all that up and you send it to the client. Caveat here. You might want to be, if you're a person like me who sucks at writing a technical class, brushing up on those English comprehension skills, because that's going to be a very important goal for writing your reports. I can tell you, that's what happens when you have a person who is a technical writer who does the report reviews and it looks like it was murdered by a serial killer constantly. Always forward, never straight. This is a saying that has been around for a long time. But that saying basically means is that, you know, there is no straight path. There is no best path. It's the path, what is considered the best path is the path that is for you, not for anybody else. Because for me, having learning disabilities is a huge issue. A person might say, hey, this is easy. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go back and look up some more on this. We'll do with that later. The problem and the reason why I say you cannot go back is because you always have that little nagging voice in the side of your head going, well, what could have happened if I did? If I did take that chance and put my foot forward. Remember, it doesn't have to be leaps and bounds. It can be that little baby step, because depending on where you're coming from, cis admins who might want to move into a different domain of security, because remember, there's 8 of them. I think, yeah, eight of them compared to 10. If it's security that you want to get into, remember, there is a whole lot of things in IT, but I'm focusing on the IT and IT security or cybersecurity. Here, I'll even drink for you. Because of that, that's my main focus and my goal, because I like being it. So I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. When you've decided it's time to move on, you're really digging your heels in. And I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Unless you're living in hell, don't fucking quit your job. You're going to need that money to be able to progress your education, however you want to do it. And, you know, as a young person, I won't lie. I quit a couple of jobs. Nope, this isn't for me. Might drop, I'm out. And yeah, there's a little bit of smoke back there behind me. I didn't care. The problem with quitting your job beforehand is, one, companies want to know, well, what did you do in between this job and that job? Because it could be a year. Now, of course, for me, it was, oh, well, I became a housewife for my husband, or I did a lot of studying, which is why I'm sitting in this chair today. You know, that whole human hacking when you do job interviews, to make sure they understand I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing, because they want someone who seems to be, depending on the job, a go-getter. So you want to keep that in mind. Now, how do I get there? Well, there are tons of ways. And compared to back in the day when I was trying to find jobs, where you may have had to go to a library, audio books. I can't remember if YouTube was back there. A lot of times it was allegedly finding resources on IRC that you could download and use. Again, they were there if you happen to use them. Nowadays, there's information everywhere. YouTube is actually my friend, and which is kind of sad, but there is so many things out there and so many classes. And oh my goodness, you've got people who upload talks that you can listen to and learn some form of information. Now, how am I going to level up? This is the part that gets interesting, because now I know what I want to do. How am I going to do it? Well, like I said, YouTube. The thing about having learning disabilities is that you have to learn, how do you learn? There are some people who can read. There are some people who can listen. There are people that can watch. They're using all those senses. And then there are doers. I found that I can watch a YouTube video while doing what the video says because I'm using more of my senses to gain that information. Writing notes is hard for me. Typically because once I have like lectures and stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I skip lectures a lot. I just want to do the test and get out of class. I'm quite sure there are plenty of you out there that felt the same way. Let me just get this done and over it. I am good. Practice labs, there are tons of them. Hack the Box is a great one. They actually have a free area that you can use. Downloading VMs that are already vulnerable. The hardware does not have to be expensive. You don't need anything crazy. Heck, I remember running practice labs on various cheap laptops that you could get. Making sure that you don't have to buy VMware, you can use VirtualBox. I mean, there's a lot of things, and I'm going through this from my experience again because, well, I was switching jobs and I didn't have that much money, but I still had to pay bills. That's adulting thing that we're constantly having to do. The hacking community, it is really not that big. Yeah, you are in DEF CON or you're looking at videos from DEF CON and you see seas of people that are everywhere. But realistically, if you look on Twitter, if you look on Facebook, because you'll connect with people. If you look at the cons that you go to, you see faces constantly. And the more you go to cons, I mean, I've been going to cons since 2000. I think Hackers on Planet Earth was my first con. You realize faces, you might not know them, but you constantly are going through and always determining what's used. I know that guy. I know that guy. Oh my God, I've seen that guy constantly. That guy was on somebody's webpage and I really liked their talk. Hey, let me go talk to you. And certain cons are more low key that they're able to, you're all on the same footing. Those rock star hackers, you may feel intimidated to even walk up and talk to one of them at certain cons compared to other ones. There are ones who say, listen, if I'm sitting at the counter, I'm having a beer or whatever drink, old fashioned, I know a couple of them love, sit down, have a conversation. We can pick some locks. In fact, I wanted to say, there was a B-sides I went to. Guy said, hey guys, what are you doing? And we're just kind of like, nothing. He's like, great, let's come on over, we'll do some shots and pick locks. One of the best experiences I had because they just wanted to be able to spread the information of that type of security and new people, which seriously, if you're a person who is very interested in learning and you're a go-getter and you have this person who's sharing knowledge with you and you seem interested and hungry for the information, they will pump you full of knowledge to your heart's content and then more. But the hacker community is a very important resource. You do not want to skirt that. I'm from the IRC days. Kids who sit there and talk about how they're children of the internet, they have nothing on us. Nothing. I mean, watching videos on Winamp with everybody on IRC, this whole, oh, you have movie nights now on Facebook. Yeah, we've been there, done that, wrote the book on it, application died and came back. So I'm 44 as of 16 days ago. So yeah, people who participate in CTFs, well, I captured the flag, quote unquote. The digital flags, that's a lot of information. You got people who are sitting around you who are knee deep in code or watching the board to see if there's little tricks that somebody put up there, Wi-Fi hacking, walking around, trying to catch that flag. I think it was like Chase the Fox. I can't remember, sorry. um, being able to zero in on that person and find them and ask them, are you the fox? And trust me, it's very hard when you're an introvert to walk up to a stranger who is weird looking with some random hat on or ears, and you've never met this person before, and you're going, "Wait, are you the fox?" And waiting. I've had people go, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Why? What?" And then they're laughing as you walk away with your head down, tail tucked between your legs. Uh, Certifications, those are great. Uh, in my experience, they always wanted you to have two certifications. You sometimes could have one, but you need to have some experience to back that up. College degrees, I'm not going to skirt on that. Some people say they're worthless, but you know what? If you want to go for it and you're getting an education, I really don't care how you get it. Just get it and get the experience to go with it. Now, internships. Internships are their own beast because sometimes you'll get a paid internship and then sometimes you won't. Uh, it's what you want to do. Volunteering. ShmooCon has ShmooCon labs where people volunteer to go in and be able to do things with the network. You choose what you want to do and you do it. And of course you're going to get help, so don't feel like that you're in the weeds. They're not going to give you some cable and go that way. Somebody's going to help you out because in the end, what you do assists the convention that's running, and Heidi's not going to deal with that. So you're going to have somebody that backs you up, but you have to be diligent. And that's the thing about accepting a change is don't back down, because a lot of times you start to get that niggling feeling that you're like, oh God, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a bad idea. The second you feel like that is that time where you lace your shoes up, pull up your big girl, big boy panties, and roll out. Because the second you go back to that. What happens if I would have just a little bit more, push myself a little bit more? And that's the thing that really would kill you, because you just sit there going, I'm back in tier 3, picking lint out of my navel. All right. So brain weasels is what we call them. Having learning disabilities suck. Some people call it superpowers, depending on what kind they are. ADHD, because, all of us, what was it? I think we used to call them Asperger's back in the day, which is now a bad word. So I'm old, sorry. ADHD is a thing. And the problem that some people don't get, especially if they don't have it or know someone who has it, is it comes with a big cup of what the fuck. Not only do you have to deal with a lawnmower right as I'm doing the talk, but you have to deal with things that are, case in point, squirrel. Your head is like a hamster wheel, and instead of hamsters, you have squirrels running around on top of it, in it, going backwards and forwards all at the same time, and you're just standing there going, I'm so sorry. What did you say? What am I doing? Oh, right. I'm doing a talk. My bad. That's what happens. Now you want to focus. You want to focus so bad on it, but even though, and for me, I really want to read this book. I am very intrigued or interested in this information. I want to know it so bad, but I can't learn it. I'm one of those people who have books, books everywhere. Yeah, I know you are too. And I'll open it, thick book, yeah, and then close it. And then I sit there going, I have no fucking clue what I just read. Because it's not that you're stupid. And that's the other thing that goes in it. The depression of it saying, I'm dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. I should probably go back to tier 1. Maybe, I don't know, go back to McDonald's. I'm really good at serving fries. But then you go, nah, I'm a little bored and I probably burn them because I don't care. So you go back to it and you push yourself. And that's where the hacker community comes in at, because everybody knows how you feel that has that issue. Everybody knows. So don't think that you are the only person. I'm not saying you're not a snowflake. No references to the Mum movie with the soap. See, that's the other thing. I forget words, um, which causes that anxiety. You know, I can't tell you how bad I felt. Kathleen, I'm just amazing. It's my daughter's name, so I really like her. Um, you know, I had insane anxiety. I couldn't even eat my breakfast slash lunch. I didn't even want to drink. That's amazing for me because I have no problem with drinking. I didn't even want to do that. So that's why I have my diet birch beer, which is amazing. And you can't see it because, well, background thing. Um, I say things, widgets all the time. One of the things I feel like doing is, clamming up. You get a bad job interview, you weren't the fit. Your brain starts doing that thing again. Those wheels will start going, nobody cares what you're saying. Shut the hell up. Oh my God, you're talking too much. Look, you're fucking weird. They don't want you here. And yeah, I've showed up at job interviews with random hats on. I don't have any with me right now, but I'll probably crochet another one. Cat ears. I've taken them off before I went in. I went through one job interview, and the first thing I did, they were coming back from lunch. I went to go ring the doorbell, and when she went to open the door, I fell in the door. Little did I know that the 4 people coming from lunch was actually the panel of people who were going to interview me. So there I am, picking myself up, go to sit someplace. The person who is the real boss comes in and puts me in a chair, and the people come in. And then my face just falls. Holy shit. I just fell through the door with them. Those are the people who were supposed to interview me, and I looked like a klutz. One of those anime characters that falls over that's got like a teddy bear on her underwear. So, yeah. I actually got the job, apparently, because, well, I didn't tell anybody who I was. They let me in. So technically, I kind of, human hacked them a little bit because I looked ridiculous. And I played it off really well by saying that, I got in here. I love hacking. I love people hacking because it's fun, kind of like getting to a job interview without telling them who you are. And they just let you through the door. They laughed. They thought it was cute. I made a lot of Simpsons references too. And then one guy, I think he enjoyed that part. So anxiety, depression, identifying what you have. I didn't get diagnosed with anything until I was in my 30s. So the whole time I'm wondering why, and I was in IT. The whole time I'm wondering why I can't get this. I must be the most stupidest motherfucker on the planet because I want to do this. I can plug A into B, but all the other words that go along with it, I can't remember. Luckily, nowadays, nobody's going to complain if you have your phone, unless you're on site, in which, well, notes, or you put it on a computer that you plan on using in text document. So the hardest part about it is even when you get the job, is even sitting here right now, even though this is my life that I am talking about, the whole imposter syndrome starts to pop up. You go on a job interview, you feel like, oh God, I'm gonna screw this up so bad. And then you realize that you deciphered what the job description says, because the job description really is to weed out people who have no clue what those words mean. And obviously I can't do it. But then you start to realize, especially when you talk to your hacker community, you're like, no, this is the thing you do. I'm like, but blah, 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 blah. You use logarithm, right? Yeah. Well, guess what? You're looking at the logs. That's what you do. You literally do that. They just didn't put it in there because these are written not by the technical manager. A lot of times these are written by HR. So they don't even know what half the words mean. They just put it in there because it sounds good. Which is why when you do your resumes, which we're going to get to that in a second, putting those nice big words in there because that's the words they know. They don't know what it means sometimes. Not talking about you HR people who were IT people, don't start. But remember, the brain weasels are there to be weasels, and they look cute even with while they're praised in their mouth. So yeah, there's that. I like weasels. Now, if you're in the IT community, you already have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder because, well, you got to make sure that you're awesome. You're awesome. I'm amazing. Who wouldn't like me? If they don't like me, that's their fucking problem, not mine. You can do these things. Now, I missed the one part of the slide. Don't forget, in the job interview, it is not all about them hiring you. It is also about you hiring them, because it's a symbiotic relationship. You want me to do the things, I want you to pay me, and all these other benefits like education, and I get to go to the doctor's office. I work for HP. I was so excited because I was able to get my eyes fixed. I look good in glasses, so I decided I still wear them. Reach out, because you're not alone. Literally, the reason why I'm sitting here today is not just because I said yes, but because I said something and the community heard and decided that they wanted to help me out. That's how the community works. How do I get jobs? Some of the jobs I've gotten is because I've known people. There's a thing called the good old boy network. Good old boy works too. I know your kid is amazing. I want to make sure that my boss knows it, or I'm the hiring manager and we could use you. We had a guy at a company. He was the manager downstairs. There were only guys there. Now, this is still back when the IT department didn't look at the way it's changing today. And he literally said, there's too much testosterone. I need somebody that can come down there and fix that, because I know that you ladies, I don't know what he was talking to, it sure wasn't me, could add something different to that. And that's what I need you to do. I need you to help me with that. You can benefit by this, and so can I, because the job pays more. Oh yeah, people were raising their hands then. It takes a certain level of bravado to be in this job, because somebody's going to tell you you fail at your job, or you get some client who has no idea what you do, who doesn't want to give you access to their network. Well, you're the one who wants me to do this job, so you're going to kind of have to go ahead and do it. And by the way, I need all this done too. That's a part of our rules of engagement. That's why you hired me. So this is my point. And if you could get it done before next document runs out, that'd be great. Just remember, reach out. Don't sit there. Don't feel embarrassed, because if you don't ask the question, you will not get the answer. And yes, there is no stupid question. I don't care what somebody says. I don't care who laughs about it. If they're worth their weight in salt, they will take your question and they will try to help you out. Not people who will troll you and say, here, let me Google that for you, and then send you that link so they Google it. Because sometimes Google is great, but you need to know where to go after you Google it. And there's a lot of crap out there and a lot of shitty advice. So knowing that you've gone to a web page that has information that's good and smart, and not somebody who's probably trolling themselves or full of viruses, is a good idea. So a lot of times people say, well, what did happen when you Google it? Well, I got 50 results coming up and I want to have your opinion, because I know this information. Again, you got to smooth them a little bit, because they may think it's a stupid question. You need to tell them why it's not. All right. You may have been out of the job market for a while, right? Well, things change a lot, like resumes or how HR does things. When I started, you put your name at the top. You had your name, your address, and your phone number on the side. Don't forget your email address if you have one. A little summary of what you can do, a tool section, your skills in the middle there, and then you wrote your resume out. That changed a lot. I was fortunate enough to go to a high school where they did mock interviews and taught you how to write a resume. By the time I graduated out of high school, and actually moved into something else, I tried to use that style of resume and it got picked apart. The person's like, all right, so since you're like 19 years old, uh, you're not working at Roy Rogers anymore. This is Radio Shack. So if you want to be able to work here, we need to see you clean this up a little bit. You have to remember your audience too, because putting that I worked at Roy Rogers cooking chicken, trying to get an IT job, I didn't know that you could like, you know, leave certain things out that was not relevant to that job. Let's just say that. Tell stories. Specifically, if you're somebody who has the education but not so much experience, you want those people to know who you are and what you can do. Don't make up stories, because in the end, it'll bite you in the tail. There are controversial things about fake it till you make it, but make sure you're good at faking it. Because the second someone puts something in your hands and says, here, do X, and you come back with 15,000 different questions and Googled it, and 3 weeks later, you still don't have a device up, that's a problem. But remember, you are interviewing the company. They are so into you. There's a reason why you got past the other schmooze. Your resume looked good. That big stack that they had to start in here is dwindled down and dwindled down. Now they do video calls, then they do video interviews, then they invite you in. And that stack has slowly gone down. They have about that much left. And now of all these people, I got to figure out who I want. But so do you, because that company, you might be there for 10, 15 years. I actually had a boss who told me that, you know, while there was a candidate who was better qualified, you had the personality that wasn't a turnip. So you fit better into the team. Now, he didn't use the word turnip, I can't remember, but basically, because even if you have someone who's experienced, if they don't fit in the team, you know, these are people who go to cons and stuff, and you don't even know what that is. You got problems. Certain jokes might get told that might not work out, and they get offended. Where if you're a person who is like that, who goes, I'm a dark human person, not just my skin, but that's because it's my personality. You can say Google it. Someone asked you, you know, Socrates always talked about one of the smartest people is the person who says they don't know. You're not tripping over your words, because in a job interview, you got people who are sharks. They will sit there and they will pick you apart, and they will listen to every word you say. And you start stuttering and trying to find an answer to the word, not just your nerve. They can sometimes notice the difference between the two because of how you use those words. I have said, you know, I don't know that answer, but I will research it. I'll look it up on Google. I will find a reputable source and then be able to provide you information. Just ask you, you know, what path would you like me to take to do this thing? Okay, well, you know, they may go, yeah, that works, or maybe we need a person who's more qualified. But either way, they know where you stand. They know you're a go-getter. They know that you're not going to come to them every 5 minutes, because there are some people who don't like being micromanaged. They want you to be able to do your own projects. And eventually they want to be able to say, go forth and breakify. Well, okay, I broke it. And this is how I broke it. And I contacted the customer and let them know and all that kind of stuff. They like progress. One of the worst things you can do is not be yourself. People out there, they look at you, and you know, I usually come in, I sit there and I'm nervous. I take a deep breath. You know, I might even excuse myself to go to the restroom so that I can just catch myself. And if you do that, then you are able to get those things done. But you need to be yourself. You got the job. Good job. You did it. Now, take a break. Don't go crazy. Don't jump right your feet right in the deep end and try to learn all these things. Take a second to pat yourself on the back. Go have that dinner. I think my first IT job, I actually went and had a steak dinner. I was so excited. The lady brought back a little cake that said congratulations, like one of the birthday cakes. That said congratulations on your new job on it. Yeah, it was great. Keep learning once you get past that. because if you don't, you will find yourself so far back it's not funny. Security podcasts. Yes, I use Twitter as my RSS feed. When Heartbeat came out years ago, that's how I knew it was important. A few researchers, more researchers. Holy crap! Now they have a web page. They have links to it. They have a case study. All right, I need to make sure my customer and my boss knows this is a thing. Hey, we need to pay attention to this because a lot of other people don't. That makes you look good. Keep running those labs. Sometimes those VMs don't do the thing. So you learn new things like that. That's pretty much all for me. Those are the things I did. I'm not big on other social medias, but I'm out there. So if you have questions, hit me up. I'll answer them. I can't promise you I'll do it right away because, well, I have all these other things to do, but I will try. And that's it.
So I made sure I got my cat ears for you.
I saw that. I'm trying not to giggle. Don't giggle. Don't giggle.
Go
Don't
ahead
giggle.
and giggle. You're fine. You're fine.
Cute. Oh my gosh.
I haven't had a chance to wear my cat ears in a long time, so you just gave me an opportunity to do that. I just have to make sure it's not on my sutures. Anyway, that was awesome. Thank you. And I know everyone looks forward to chatting with you in the Discord channel, just sort of everyone talking about, hey, we're all nervous. We all have imposter syndrome. We all just,
oh yeah,
sometimes we flub it up. But it was really great. We loved hearing the authentic you. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Danyelle. Thank you, Lady.
No problem.
And
thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. And next up is another great presentation. But right now, we're going to say goodbye to Danyelle. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.